Hello, heroes and hacktivists. My name is TVSkyne, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII, where we are theoretically about to explore the city of Estar. But first, I think I talked about this on this series previously. That when I was a kid and playing Final Fantasy VIII, I had the PC version at one point, and I downloaded an online save game editor that could be used to just basically overpower all of my characters completely. Like, you could add as many spells as you wanted, all of the Guardian Forces to every character, everyone level 99, everyone doing 9,999 damage with every single attack, everyone has like a full list of the most powerful spells, that kind of thing. And that was like an easy way back then to get your character super overpowered so you could just kind of blaze through the game and you'd never have to worry about it. But, I thought to myself yesterday, you know, my characters in Final Fantasy VIII have gotten a little bit overpowered, even though I've sort of been trying to strike a balance between showing off the combat system and, well, not trying to get super overpowered with my characters. It's kind of failed. So I downloaded a save game editor for Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. And I went through, and I basically just depowered my characters a bunch. So everybody has been kicked back down to level 35-ish. All my Guardian Forces who were over level 40 have been kicked back down to level 40, because like level 30 is sort of the level that they're theoretically supposed to be at. And I've removed some of the magic, mostly like the spells that were just inconveniencing me, like those one or two Firas and Thundaras I still had left over and stuff like that I wanted to get rid of anyway. And generally speaking, just kind of depowered my characters a little bit, cleaned some stuff up, and hopefully now I will be less... I mean, I'm still, with the setups that I've got, you can tell, I'm doing okay for myself. But at the very least now, I shouldn't be massively overpowered anymore. Like, it should be possible for me to lose a boss fight or something at some point. I hope so. And if it turns out that it's not possible for me to lose a boss fight, well, I think I'll go back and I'll edit things down even more, just to add a little bit, just a little bit of drama to the game. Because frankly, I have gotten a little bit too comfortable. Like, things had gotten a little bit on the easy side there. And, like, nerfing myself by, like, putting different spells in my spell slots and stuff like that was just gonna be a lot of administration and bother, and at some point, like, when your character is too high of a level, there's no amount of nerfing you can do. They're always gonna be overpowered. So, that's what I've done. Hopefully that'll bring my characters, like, a little bit more into line with something halfway sensible, and the game will be a little bit less incredibly easy at this point, which, as we've talked about many times before, is one of the great weaknesses of Final Fantasy VIII, is that even when you don't really mean to, even when you're not, like, playing optimally, even when you're not massively exploiting all of the exploitable systems in the game, you still can kind of end up powered up beyond the point where you could reasonably expect any enemy to be able to kill you in, like, a normal fight. During the last 17 years since Sorcerer Zadell's reign, we've remained isolated from the world. Perhaps we should have made contact with the outside and shared our vast knowledge. Mr. Wakanda up in here. Yeah, that's sure, like, imagine how many people who died of cancer you guys could have maybe saved. I don't know. Just saying. So, let's go around and explore the quasi-utopian city of Estar. Ah, Quake, a spell I could actually use, but Zell can't draw any more of them. Give them to Quistis, then. I'm so sorry, the doctor gave strict orders not to let anyone inside the lab. Can't get into the lab, then. Hey, save point. There it is. I often come out here to take a break. Great place, huh? Oh, right, this save point restores all your health. I forgot about that. Because, you see, it's super advanced technology. I'm on break now. How do you like our city? air station, huh? Let's go see what's over there. Probably a closed-up thing that we can't actually go past this guy. Yeah, it's temporarily closed. Fancy that. I'm looking at this and I just note how many guard railings there aren't. Like, all these walkways 12 million miles up in the sky and no guardrails? Really? I guess that's his dog. So, this section of the game... Well, yes, hello, Mr. Carr. Is one that I always kind of considered weaker in terms of... Well, especially in terms of the writing. Where the hell am I? Oh, up there. Especially in terms of the writing, I consider it a little bit weaker. Because it's kind of, you get to S-star, or rather you get to the point where you need to go to S-star, and the game kind of contorts itself into some rather convenient shapes to enable you to do that. Like, Squall takes Renoa and walks off, but then the party, like, immediately finds him. And so the whole, like, walking off on his own thing feels perfunctory. Like, it doesn't feel like it really does anything. Oh, I lost a seed ring. And then you get it, it's like, oh, you're going with Edea, but there's very little explanation of, like, hang on, but shouldn't that have been, like, a cutscene with Zid when she's like, hey, I want to be able to defend myself from... Like, there's a lot of narratively, it feels like a lot of corners were cut here, especially in the Laguna section. Like, the function of the Laguna section when you get here is to, well, it helps introduce you to what Estar was like before the fall of the Sorceress Adele, who fortunately doesn't rule the place anymore. And, like, the brutality that they treated people with. You build out the Moombas, the little orange tiger creatures, a little bit more. Like, there's stuff going on there. But the whole tone of that cutscene vacillates kind of wildly between wacky hijinks with Laguna and friends, where Laguna is doing his whole comedy idiot routine, and then the dude's there like, hey, you seem nice. Do you want to be the leader of our revolution? Which again comes kinda out of nowhere. Like, it feels very, like, convenient in the sense that it allows the plot to move along. But it doesn't expand very much on... Like, on the... Like, it doesn't really expand on the world building. It just kind of lays the groundwork for, okay, here's some things that need to happen for the story to move forward. Which I always felt like was kind of weak at this point in the game. And Squall's writing also gets a little bit weak at this point in the game, unfortunately. Partly, at least, because of his romance with Renoa. Like, that kind of takes over his character. And there, again, as we discussed before, there's an important point to that. Like, it's him learning to grow and start to prioritize someone else over himself, but still not quite knowing how to strike the balance and be a responsible adult. Because that's partly what the game is about, is Squall learning to be an adult. Learning to come into his own as a person. But because Squall's writing gets much more... Like, because he is fundamentally way less interested in the world outside of himself at this point. Because, you know, selfish teenager in love, his brain only knows one thing, and it's to be upset about romance and stuff. There's nothing grounding the story. Like, the story really doesn't feel like it has a grounding point to sort of get you past some of the corners that the narrative has to cut to get where it wants to go. It all feels like they had to rush it a little bit to me. Because there's some good stuff here. Like, there's some good ideas with the hidden city that has developed sort of in isolation from the conflicts of the rest of the world that could be explored a lot more. But which kind of have to get skated over. As you can see, as we're running around Estar City here, it's huge and it's impressive, and there are buildings and there are people and all this stuff, but there's not a lot of stuff here as such. I think there's some collectibles you can get. Like, I think you can get one of the magazines for Zell from someone here. And there's, like, some minor things that you can pick up, but there's nothing major, really, to catch your interest at all. Which is, you know, a bother and a half, but that's just kind of the way it goes in this section of the game. So S-Star as a whole kind of feels like this really cool idea that the developers had, but they just either didn't have the time or couldn't find a way to truly expand upon. Because as you shall see, like, there's way more stuff outside of S-Star for us to explore than there is inside of it. And one thing we're going to do in this episode is we are going to complete a side quest that has been a long time in the making, and which I shall explain once we actually get to the point where we are able to complete it. First, let's just test our stats out for a second. See how much damage people do now. Well, it's still a decent chunk of hurt, but he's also, like, supposed to be my attack specialist in terms of the way that I've built him. So that's better. Grab a few meltdowns. But yeah, like I said, if I still turn out to be, like, there's a major boss fight coming up in not too long, I believe. And if I just take that one down without any trouble, then maybe I'll go back and do a little bit more manual nerfing. Da-da. And this side quest that we're going to be completing, it's one that's so poorly communicated because of some quirks of translation, that I kind of feel like if you don't have a guide, you're never gonna find it. Like, you're just not gonna be able to figure this out because it's so weird and opaque. Well, I mean, actually, it's probably possible to get it, but it'll be by accident. Like, it'll not be because you figured it out and you know what to do, but because you just happen to have the necessary items, like, in your inventory at the right time. Okay, let me just... It's... Oh, Lord. Okay, Right. Let's speed this up a little bit by equipping no encounters. I exited the city at the absolute worst possible point. So S-Star City and the S-Star continent around here is just pretty much just this giant city map with only like a couple of entrances to the actual city. And the city itself mostly just a bunch of textures on the ground, really. And then, as you head out of town, across the plains, you find a couple of things scattered around. First thing we're going to visit is here. Don't think there's anything important here, but it's just a nice place to go. That big old hunk of rock that was here, I'll miss it now when it is gone. It's so barren here now. Ooh, death. Yes. So, if you recognize this, this is the laboratory workplace area that Laguna escaped from during his dream sequence. It's still standing there, but they won't do anything in there now. When the research subject moves elsewhere, I guess they move with it. Unfortunately, we can't really do anything here, but this is the place that Laguna escaped from, except the thing he escaped from, that giant building that used to be behind this outlet, is gone now. It has gone somewhere else, and we'll run into it later. Okay, moving on to the thing we're actually trying to get to. So that's where we're technically supposed to be going right now, but that's not where we're gonna go. we're gonna go down here to this place, which is called Tears something. Tears Point. Dun, dun, dun. And we've just picked up the Solomon Ring. So, time for me to explain this ridiculous side quest. So, there are these magazines in the game called Occult Fan. Summoning Legend Reveal. Look at this picture. This is a confidential photo of what is assumed to be a ring that summons a GF. Legend goes that it was a ring that belonged to a royal family. Its names and whereabouts are unknown. The legend says you must have 666 items to summon the GF. So, there's some ambiguity there. The other magazines kinda hint-ish at the stuff that you're supposed to find, but like I said, the translation is really kind of poor, and it doesn't do a great job of telling you what you need to find. The items that you actually need are, you need to have 6 Marlboro tentacles, you need to have 6 steel pipes, which I have got here, and you need to have 6 remedy pluses. Those are the 666 that the thing, like, it references you need 666. No, you need 6, 6, and 6 items of different kinds. And then you can use the ring. You called upon me. I am. And you get Doom Train, which is a guardian force that you can summon. No boss fight this time. I shall become your ally. But now I got it. So that's lovely. It's a Doom Train. He's a defensive, isn't he? I think so. I should get Firaga off of that. And it's not like it's better for any of the stats. Nope. But I'll put it on, yeah. Just because 5,000 health is probably enough. There we go. And let's set him to do Forbidden Medicine Refinement, because if I remember correctly, that gives you some good items. But yeah, that is the only way to get the Doom Train Guardian Force in this game, is to go to this place and this statue and get that ring and have understood what those 4 magazines were like vaguely trying to tell you. So he's a bit like the Tonberry. He's like a fairly well hidden, a fairly well hidden Guardian Force. There's one more secret hidden Guardian Force in the game, but him we cannot obtain for a while yet. I think we need the airship before we'll get that. Oh, no, actually there's 2, but the other one we've already obtained, in a manner of speaking. You'll see him later. He'll show up on his own. Anyway, let's go to the place that we're actually supposed to go and actually progress the story. And I'm just gonna unequip the Encounter None and equip Mug instead, I think. Yeah. Oh, welcome to Lunar Gate. Our staff is waiting for you inside the complex. We've been expecting you. This way, please. Ugh. And there's Angelo. Renoa's dog, who's been following us apparently this entire time. Hey, it's gonna be okay. I'll take care of Renoa. Lead the way, please. Are you the ones taking off? Yeah. Okay, this way. Distance-wise, it's pretty far, but you'll be there in no time. You'll be there by the time you wake up. Where are we going? Well, let me give you a quick explanation of the whole process. First, we need you to enter the capsule inside this pipe. Here you'll undergo the cold sleep process. Once this process is complete, your capsule will automatically be launched into the booster. After that, we launch. You should be there by the time you wake up. Leave the rest to the staff once you get there. Well, that's about it in a nutshell. I won't say there isn't any risk involved. What do you want to do? Space, huh? I'll do whatever it takes. Let's do it. Okay, you need to decide who you're taking. The girl in blue has already undergone cold sleep and has been loaded in. There's room for one more. In the meantime, something must be done to suppress my powers. But it'd be too dangerous for Matron to be alone.
Yeah, then let me be her escort. Come on, Squall, what do you say?
I guess we can trust Cell. Okay, I'll leave it in Cell's hands.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to watch over you. Don't worry about a thing. Hey, Squall, don't worry about us.
Matron is a sorceress, don't forget that. Okay, let me decide who's going. That'll be Quistis, and we'll just grab Zell's junctions. Hang on, we'll grab Quistis' junctions and put them on Renoa, then we'll grab Zell's and put them on Quistis. There we go. Is this your party? Yeah. Okay then, those who are going, get in. In case anyone hasn't figured it out yet, we're going to space! We're going to space.
Yeah, leave it to me, Squall.
Don't worry about us. Squall, Renoa will be fine. Yeah, do it up, Squall. All capsules are in place. Conditions inside the capsules are normal.
Boosters on standby. All systems normal.
Launch code error correction +2. Orbital correction -1. Corrections complete.
Go!
Clear. 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 They're shooting us out of a railgun. There's literally chambers on it like a gun. It is one of the cooler things that the game does in terms of like, just how do you get to space? Just shoot him out of a cannon.
Man, I hope everything goes well.
They'll be fine. I think they're in good hands. Let us pray for their safe return. Oh, shall we go? Hey, come back! Jeez, what's up with her?
What the?
Oh, bugger me blue. Do I need to junction to them now? Just to be safe, I'll grab Squall's junctions for Zell.
Whoa! Yeah, let's go outside.
Oh, that's large. Hey, remember that? You probably don't because it's kind of hard to. It was kind of hard to see it, but
What the hell is that? It's humongous.
say, wasn't the city in that direction?
Uh-oh, Dr. Odin might be in trouble.
Sel, we'd better head for the city at once. Dr. Odin might know what's going on.
Yeah, right. Hook's coming with us.
Right. Okay, so I am doing. Okay, great. Fine. Whatever. Idea, you take Questus' stuff. Selfie, you take. Ah. No choice but to bring Idea, by the way. Okay. Now, Idea needs some magic beyond. Okay, I think she's fine. And here we go. Let's see, it was that way, right? Oh, right, I forgot to get my encounter none back on. Oh well. We'll live. Of course, the side effect of me changing all my character levels down so far is that all the enemies I encounter are also comparatively weaker. Which, with the junctions I have, might still make me catastrophically overpowered, actually. God damn it. Okay. I'll figure out a way to fix that. For the moment, let's just get... encounter none back on, because frankly... Let's see... City... Hang on, what's that thing? Huh. I don't remember this place. Oh, the Esther Sorceress Memorial. Well, might as well go take a peek. It's not like time progresses unless we exist in some place. Stop, huh? Self can have that. No? Off limits, okay. Genuinely didn't remember that. Okay. I should have hired a car. I really should. What can that be? Esther's symbol is on it. I've never seen it once in my entire life. Right. I need to go to the lab, I think. Because we're checking on Odin.
Are you here to see the doctor? Dr. Odin is in a good mood right now. He hasn't been this cheerful in quite a while.
Just let me in. Let me in. Come on. Double, huh? Sure. No? Okay, I have to sit on the thing.
Why is the lunatic Pandora here now? Who is moving that thing?
Galbadians, sir. They're the ones who salvaged it. We must sound the alert in the city now.
It will not attack us. The city is not its target.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
But here's point. So, we meet again. This is exciting.
What's exciting about this? Isn't all that about Galbadia and all?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I last saw Lunatic Pandora.
That lunatic, whatever, that big thing? What the hell is that? What the hell's going on?
Oh, you want to hear my story? Ah, that is nice. I would be happy to tell you. I've been investigating the Pandora since it was excavated. So we serviced it. And investigated.
I don't care about that.
What do you want?
What's gonna happen? What do we do?
Well, that is what I'm about to...
The enemy's coming, right? And there's no time. We'll do something about it. Just tell us what to do. Make it short.
Short, eh? Are you sure about that? That is too bad. Yes, this could be very bad. You want to go inside to stop it? Then look at this. This is a map of the Este region. Lunatic Pandora's current location is here. Lunatic Pandora's expected course, it will undoubtedly pass over the city. Zoom in map. The city has one outer skyway and two main inner skyways, all leading to the palace. Lunatic Pandora will head east from the vicinity of this lab towards the shopping mall. The time it will take to cross the city is estimated to be 20 minutes. Boarding Lunatic Pandora is possible at the following 3 contact points. The first contact point is at the center of the city. It will arrive there 5 to 8 minutes after it enters the city. That is equivalent to 15 to 12 left on your timer. The second contact point is unknown. We believe it is where the 2 skyways cross. Lunatic Pandora will arrive there 10 to 15 minutes after it enters the city. That is equivalent to 10 to 5 left on your timer. Third contact point is north of the shopping mall. It will arrive there 17 minutes after it enters the city. That is equivalent to 3 to 0 left on your timer. End of briefing. That is how it goes. I give you this. Look at it with eggs. The problem is...
All right. We gotta get going.
I want to talk some more. Yeah. The culprit is not Galbadia.
That sure sounds like important information. Anyway, the Lunatic Pandora is over the city now. It was excavated, and we saw it being excavated, actually, in one of Laguna's dreams. You'll see once we actually get inside. And I'm going to keep Encounter None on for this, because the timer is a little bit important.
It looks like it's here.
And I believe random encounters spawn in the city.
Where is it? There it is!
Yeah, you can see the soldiers lying on the ground there. I believe random encounters spawn in the city. Let's see if I can figure out how to get there. I think I can. It's this way, right? I think it's here.
They predicted it would fly by here. Geez, isn't there anything we can do? And the Galbadians are controlling it.
Right. So now, we just kind of have to wait for it. And unfortunately, one little quirk of the game is that speeding up the game with the game speed up option doesn't actually speed up any of the timers, so you can really super cheese the game by using the speed up. So I'm just going to do a little edit here, and then we'll be inside of it. And there it is.
Oh, man.
We're supposed to do what?
There you go. This is not, unfortunately, Biggs and Wedge, as far as I remember. Nah, it's just normal G-soldiers. So they'll go down pretty quick.
Now's the chance.
Welcome, 14, to the Lunatic Pandora. We'll be back here. Let's see. We'll start with elevator number 3. So, there's a bunch of random encounters in here, but for some reason, anything that's not like Galbadian soldiers specifically is going to be super low level in here, for whatever reason. But you may begin to recognize this place as a somewhat more finished version of the place we visited with Laguna way back when, where we did a bunch of hijinks and made boulders fall down and opened panels and caused S-Star soldiers to flail about hilariously. But yeah, the enemies in here are super low level generally, and so I'm going to keep encounter none on for the time being, because it's just like, you don't even get any AP or anything. Let's see. I'm trying to remember my way around here. Nope. Hang on, hurry up a little. There we go. So that's the shortcut that goes to the thing, right? And then this way, then. I think. Having no encounters on, of course, does make everything kind of... No? Can't go any further there? Does make everything a little bit easy. So over here. No. I don't remember how to explore this place at all. It's been too long. Ah, there we go. There's a holy draw point, which is nice. Selfie can have those. And here's, like, more stuff that you probably recognize. But as you can see, basically what we ran into with Laguna in the dream when he was still a Galbadian soldier was a very early version. Can't go through there. Of the excavation of this thing. Which has now been, as you can see, completed. Fitted with tunnels and everything. As well as... The hell is that? Well, no time to be pondering. Let's do it. My body, I can't move. Ah! Well, shit, actually. That's not great. See, because the whole point... Okay, well, I did that super wrong. So the whole point of all the stuff I did with Laguna in the Lunatic Pandora was that it unlocks a whole bunch of treasures and things in there that I wanted to get, but I couldn't find them. So that was kind of lame. Okay, well, none of them are important. The treasures are stuff like... There's like a thing that teaches Quist is one of her limit breaks. There's a Phoenix Pinion, and I think there's an Ultima draw point. And that's like kind of it. There isn't a whole bunch of like super important stuff that you need. It's just nice little extra bits and treasures and stuff. Anyway, the Lunatic Pandora goes to Tyr's Point and does something. I guess we better fall back for now.
The Luna cry.
Let's head back. Meanwhile... in spare! Great capsules are approaching. Shall we recover them? Of course. What do you expect? Are these special personnel coming on board? Yeah, I hope they don't cause any problems. Shall we put troops on standby? Yeah, I have a feeling we won't need to. Then we better station them all the more. Capsule recovery team initiate recovery process. Security go to standby. Hey, thanks for the vote of confidence. Why do you always play me like that? I'm gonna go check up on Adele. Take care of the rest, will ya? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is straight out some of the cooler sci-fi in the game, though. Like, this is some very cool sci-fi concepts going on here. It's a pity it's not explored more than it is, but, like, the whole launching capsules into space and then stopping them with, like, laser nets, progressively slowing them down, getting recovered by astronauts, that's some cool-ass sci-fi. and then stealing the whole thing from from Stanley Kubrick of having classical sounding music happening at the same time. But they didn't have the rights to the 1812 overture, so.
Initiating quick fill. It's gonna feel a bit itchy. Okay, done.
Whee!
Log on to rotation ring unit.
So I can control my momentum around here. Float about.
Lock engaged, generating artificial gravity.
And now the controls get really hard. Because... Here's the letter of introduction from Estar's ambassador.
Wow, what is she? 17, 18? Is she dead?
Don't touch her.
Yeah, I understand the situation. Let's get her to the med lab and we'll talk there. Please follow me.
I'll try. Oh, thank God. Normal perspective. Welcome to space! I will take the opportunity to say that as many times as I possibly can. And this, I think, is also a good place to give a little bit of a save game and maybe end this particular episode. It's going to turn out to be a little shorter than usual, but I feel like I need to go back into the save editor a little bit and maybe just like mess with a few things just to make sure that I'm not so overpowered. I'm going to give it a shot anyway. We'll see how it works out. But if you've enjoyed hanging out in the world of Final Fantasy VIII with me, then I encourage you to hit the like, comment, and or subscribe buttons down below because numbers go up, YouTube good, happy, make line go up, nice, good, because algorithm things. I have a Patreon, I have a merchandise store, I have a tip jar. You can use any of them if you want to, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. That's completely fine as well. Thank you very much for watching, and please remember to wash your hands.